So, what's up, people? Day number two. There's so much going on. And I just want to add my little perspective. I was watching The View this morning when Christian Cooper, the bird watcher who was falsely accused of harming the Karen Cooper in the park. And you know that there's a thing of, now I want y'all to hear me because I'm gonna try to take my time and break down how I see this. He said that he forgives her and people shouldn't have to have their lives picked apart because of 30 seconds or whatever. And that's it's complex. There is a thing of people can see you react in a 30-second video or a minute-long video, and you could have been having a bad day, this and that, and no, your whole life's work should not be judged off that. However, in this particular situation, this woman was doing wrong. Even before the video started, he just asked her, according to both of them, to leash her dog in this particular area, or if you want your dog to run free, go to the other part of the park where it's not protected. The whole time she had the videotaping started, she still had not put the dog on the leash. She threatened to call the police and say an African American man was harassing her or threatening her. She then proceeds to call 911 and say that when she wasn't getting the response that she wanted, then in that moment she began to put on the fake, frantic voice as if he was attacking her. All the time still breaking the law by not having a dog on a leash. Now, I speak about forgiveness all the time, and I tell you all the time, the reality is forgiveness is for you. And forgiveness is so that people won't, as they say, live free, rent free in your head. Forgiveness is so that you can move on and so that you can have that you can clear the space for that good energy to come to you. This thing about this woman, and something he said in his interview that I agree with, it's bigger than just her. It's an American thing. It's a systematic thing that goes on. But the thing is, she had time to think this stuff through, and that was her go-to. You cannot tell me she did not know the repercussions of what her actions caused. So just like, and see, forgiveness is for him. I get it. I would not publicly accept her apology because of the message it sends to other little black folk like me. So I get it. If you want to forgive her, go ahead and forgive her. That's cute or whatever. And it's good for moving on. But to publicly say that gives judges and other police officers the kudos to say, oh, they're just going to forgive me, just a pat on the back. We don't even have to charge them because the people have forgiven them, all that kind of stuff. And y'all know that ain't right. But the problem is, again, she could have caused him she could have caused the ending of his life, his freedom, his health, any of that. So she deserves to have her life ripped apart because she could have had him murdered, which would have ripped apart the lives of his family, his friends, and those of us who witnessed this type of trauma our whole lives. So yes, there are reactions for your actions. There are consequences for your actions. And yes, she needs to be ripped apart. Now, it needs to send a message. And people like that who report false crimes, first of all, you should be arrested or cited or something for that false crime. It should also be considered a hate crime. And this is what this is what I'm talking about when I talk about voting in your local elections. Get people up there who will get up there and push the buttons and do what they need to do for the safety and security of all Americans, but specifically your cause, which is black folk. There's another topic going on where, let me see, the topic is about the people rioting and looting. Now, those of you who've known me has known I'm not with rioting. I'm not with looting, specifically in the neighborhood I live in, because in a lot of neighborhoods, the places that these people are, I apologize for saying these people, the places where people riot are often already, there's not a whole lot there anyway. So you're going to tear down the one where I've always been that person. But I also understand I come from a different place. I come from a different time. I've always had a certain amount of privilege as far as where we lived and how we lived and the access. So I cannot speak for other folk and their frustration. I know what my frustration is. But someone did a post, and I had to really look at it from a different perspective. There's a reality that Black people don't get their lives back. Black people's peace is often messed up. We're often traumatized. Places, big, what they call it, big ticket stores or whatever the name is, like Target and stuff, they move into these neighborhoods. These CEOs are ripping folk off every day. They're not paying livable wages. They're not giving the benefits that they should. A lot of times they're not giving them the way they should be giving them. So they're robbing these communities over and over and over again. Then they get these tax breaks and they've got insurance. Again, I'm not for looting, but by all means, y'all folk, us folk, when no one else is listening to us, we're going to get their attention one way or the other. So keep on riding. I mean, get whatever it takes for our voices to be heard and for them to stop murdering us and then getting sometimes just fired, but sometimes they get paid time off while stuff is being investigated. So people are sick and tired. I'm almost 49. I've been sick and tired for at least 40 years because I've seen racism since age 6, to be honest. So longer than 40 years. And I do understand that everybody's different. Our experiences are different. Our stimuli is different. Our responses to stimuli is different. So I'm not going to dog or demonize folk who are hurting and frustrated and angry as hell. Burn the whole goddamn city down and start all over. If that's what it's going to take, because right now, people seem not to be listening or caring or hearing us. So if it means burn this whole goddamn stolen country down and start all over with a right set of morals and standards and codes and laws, then do that. But that's my little take. Didn't want to be too long, but I just wanted to offer that perspective. That whole Botham Jean thing, I forgive you, and then the judge. So nobody does that. The judge gets down and hugs the woman. That's what that says is, oh, those niggers, and let me be honest, oh, they're a forgiving kind. They don't care. It doesn't really matter that much. It matters to those of us who ain't all that publicly forgiving. It's those of us who want to, who have to forgive for the sake of our own sanity. But I'm not publicly acknowledging that it's okay. I ain't doing that, and y'all shouldn't either. Hold these motherfuckers to the fire. All right, I'm about to get worked up, so let me get off here. Enjoy your Thursday.